all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, one quick disclaimer, I am very drained, so if you see me being weird or low energy or whatever, I'm so tired that putting this minimal makeup on felt like a chore, okay? So, the topic at hand, I wasn't sure whether to talk about this for a couple of reasons. Now, if you've been following me for long enough, you'll know that in the past, I myself had a drug problem. As far as I know, it seems that Demi has had issues with cocaine. I don't know what else, but I was a cokehead, so I'm very aware of what it's like and what goes into it and what it feels like, blah, blah, blah. Before I made a video about this, I wanted to ask you guys if you were interested. The majority of you on Twitter said yes. And I actually wanted to see how a lot of other people responded and reacted on social media. I don't know how you guys perceived it, but from where I stood, it looked like there was a very big divide. And this divide was of, oh my God, prayers to Demi, I hope she's okay, blah, blah, blah. So like concern, to people who were immediately like, I have no empathy because she chose to take drugs, so no empathy for me. To be honest, I haven't listened to Demi Lovato. I think I've heard maybe a song or two of hers. I'm not a fan or anything, but I was very shocked when I saw the news. Like, even as someone completely outside of it, I don't know why I was completely shocked when I saw the news, when in reality we are having one of the worst crises in terms of drugs, so I shouldn't have been so shocked, I guess. I just wanted to give my 2 cents here because I think I can see both sides of it quite clearly. Now, let me just say one thing about my addiction. When I was addicted, nobody knew I was addicted. I was very, very good at hiding it. It was during my gap year, so I was going to school to learn Chinese, I was doing a bunch of things, and nobody knew. Even my closest friends, nobody knew. My mom, nobody ever suspected anything, and the only reason I today am not, and haven't been for like, what, 6 years now? I don't know. Anyway, is because I self-intervened, which sounds very weird, but I essentially one day was just like, you know what, this is not, I can't live my life this way. And I pretty much just told my mom, this has been going on for months, I need to leave this city, and that's what happened. So I self-intervened in my situation, okay? I just wanted to put that out there because it's gonna come up later. The thing I am having a difficulty understanding between these two polarized sides is that, yes, Demi made the choice to take an illegal substance that could potentially hurt her. She made that choice, and it's a bad choice. I think we can all agree. It seems to me that a lot of people took that and decided that logic and empathy are mutually exclusive, which they're not. Or logic and emotion are mutually exclusive, which they're not. In certain situations, maybe they are, but here they're not. Because from my perspective, as soon as I heard of this, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, I hope she's okay. Never in my head, though, did I justify her taking drugs or saying, oh, poor thing, like the drugs just fell up her nose or fell into her mouth or whatever it is that she OD'd on. I never thought of her as a victim in the sense that she chose to take the drugs. I don't know if she chose to overdose. I don't know that. I don't think that's even public knowledge at this point. But I felt empathy because I was like, I know how low you have to feel to take those. Like, I know what would drive someone to take that. And obviously our reasons are different, our lives are different, or whatever. But my empathetic side said, holy shit, things must be really dark for her right now, so I'm empathetic. But that doesn't erase the fact that she chose to take the drugs, and that is her responsibility and her accountability. The problem I'm seeing online is that people are separating empathy, accountability, emotion. They're separating these two things as if they're completely polar opposites. Now, I know that probably this is very obvious to most of my viewers because I feel like we all think in a similar way, which is probably why you're here, I'm guessing. But I honestly think it is disgusting to be out here tweeting, I have no empathy, she made her own mistake, now she has to live with it. Because, you know, I do think that there is a mental health element to it. And I'm not saying she's guiltless. That's far from what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's kind of like kicking someone when they're down. Is it really necessary to be like, hey, I heard this person overdosed. Like, I give no fucks about what happens to them because they chose to take drugs. And it's just like, haven't you ever had a friend or even you make a bad decision and then you've had people be compassionate and empathetic towards you because they know you made a bad decision, but they know that you're in a bad headspace or that you simply just didn't know any better, you know? So I feel like as much as I'm harsh on so many things, I feel like there are things where we can be accountable and empathetic. So we can be empathetic until Demi's better, and then after that, we can have the harder conversations, or whoever has to have the hard conversations with her can have them and say, what the fuck? Why did you do that? You know? But when tragedy, and I call it a tragedy because an overdose is a tragedy, when a tragedy happens like that, I just don't understand why anyone would run to their keyboard to say, it's their fault. You know, I just don't understand what that's accomplishing. Whereas people saying, I'm praying for you, I hope you're okay, whatever it is, that's accomplishing something in the sense that when she came to or first went on social media, she was flooded with good things. And that's not to say that she shouldn't be held accountable as soon as, you know, she's well again or maybe out of rehab or something. But I was just kind of shocked at how hateful some people were for no real reason. Like, she made a mistake, she took drugs, she's gonna be held accountable. The thing is, let her get out of the woodworks before you start screaming at her about taking drugs. To me, it just kind of felt like it's the Italian saying that I've mentioned a few times, cattiveria gratuita, which means being mean for free, essentially. So being mean for no actual reason. And I'm sorry this was all jumbled, but as you can imagine, this is a little bit of a touchy subject for me. I don't know how I don't know how Demi's addiction story is or whatever, but I know that in my case, I was the one who held myself accountable. Like, I called myself out, I ratted myself out, and then I, you know, took charge of that. It never had to get to the point where someone else had to do it. So I was the one that was harsh towards myself. In her situation, I don't know if it's gonna be that way. I'm sorry, this video is a mess. I feel like I've resaid some of the stuff so many times, but between me being tired and this being kind of like an emotional thing for me to talk about, it's been a mess, what can I tell you? Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about this kind of divide of like no empathy or all empathy, whereas it just feels like I didn't see anyone in the middle being like, hey, she fucked up, but that doesn't mean we can't hope for the best for her or send her well wishes or whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and let's get right into the fan art.